spaghetti assassina, and it is a killer.
That's for sure.
That's true. And it defeats all known pasta rules that anybody around the world they use. It's just it breaks all the rules, and that's maybe why I like it a little bit. It's nice.
It's a rebel.
It's a rebel. First, we have to create our tomato broth. So a pot over medium heat and a little bit of oil, olive oil, not a lot. And then we're going to go in with 2 minced cloves of garlic. There are different ways to go about this recipe, which is from Bari in Puglia region, actually. But we have a little bit of garlic, and we're going to let that roast a little bit here. Just 20-30 seconds to get fragrant in our pot. As you see, it starts bubbling a little bit. In the original recipe, they would be using tomato paste and mix it in water. But there are other recipes out there that I'm following, which is passata mixed with less water and more passata. When I was researching this, they say that that gives, let's say, a deeper flavor than the truly original one. So we are also breaking a few rules on this one. It's a recipe back from the 60s, by the way, so it's not an old one.
It has some history there.
Yeah, exactly. When our garlic is fragrant, I'm going in with 4 cups of passata or milled tomatoes into our pot, simple as that. And then 3 cups or 750 milliliter of water, so we create like a thin, it's not a sauce, it is a broth.
It's a broth.
It's a broth. And a couple of pinches of salt. So this will be the base of what we are cooking our spaghetti in. We're going to bring this to simmer, and then we go straight on with the spaghetti. So it's quick and easy, actually.
And if you like our videos, give us a like, give us a comment, subscribe.
Thumbs up.
Yeah.
It helps our channel grow, and that helps us make content for you. So see you when this simmers. This has been simmering for a couple of minutes, so our tomato broth is ready. So we put that aside, and then we put on a big pot. And the pot here, or pan, is important because you need a pan which is big enough to accommodate the length of your spaghetti or your pasta, whatever you're using. But that's the important part here. It could be cast iron, but don't use non-stick because you want that little bit burning that sticks to the bottom. I'll show you later how that works. Now we're going to crank this up a bit, and then we're going to give it a healthy glug of olive oil. There are no measurements here, but the bottom has to be covered in a nice layer of olive oil. And to that oil, we are adding a tablespoon of red chili flakes. And now we're going to let that roast away till the chili flakes, they start sizzling. A couple of minutes it will take before we can move on, but they need to sizzle to infuse the oil with some nice hot chili flavor. When this has toasted a bit and it starts tickling your nostrils from the chili, we are going to go in with a packet of spaghetti, or in this case I'm actually using linguine because it's a little bit thicker than spaghetti and I think it works better. Use spaghetti by all means. That goes into the oil, and now we're going to let this fry on dry pasta. Try to keep them in the same direction, but swing them around so we get oil coverage all over our pasta here. That's important, but try to keep them in one direction because we don't want to break them. That's quite important for the end result. So just swing them around. Basically, we are going about this like you would a risotto where you fry the rice. It's about
Yeah,
the
but
same.
I don't think I've seen another recipe with fried pasta, right?
Nope. This
That's interesting.
It is, and it's also why I stumbled upon it and I thought I have to try this.
Yeah, you have to do it. Chili, pasta,
Garlic.
frying things. What can go wrong for you?
Exactly. But let that fry, and it needs to fry pretty well here before we move on, so it gets really hot, the pan. And when our pasta starts getting toasty around the edges, I think you can see it from the top camera there, they start changing color a little bit. Then we're going to start adding our concoction here, ladle by ladle. Mind you, when you put the first one here, it's gonna spritz. So stay back a little bit. Give it 3-4 ladles from the beginning here. You want a little bit more in the first go here for this to start boiling. So let's go with 4. And then we're gonna let it cook until it absorbs all the pasta sauce. It evaporates and absorbs into our pasta. And then we continue little by little. This will take cooking time. It will take about twice of what it says on the package. If it says 11 minutes, this will take you 22 to 25. It takes longer time to cook like this. So just keep moving it forwards and backwards, but don't start bending them. You want to keep the same direction here. And you see how quick that went? It already disappeared. So then we can continue with more of our tomato broth here. There we go. And let that simmer away and move them a little bit. And when this has evaporated, we're going to let it fry a little bit longer so the pasta starts getting blackened and get some charred bits, because that's what we're looking for at the end, is the texture between an al dente pasta with some charring on the outside. So just keep going like this. And now all of our broth has evaporated. We only have a little bit of sauce left here with the oil. And now, as you can see, it's sticking to the bottom, and that's what you want. You want to allow it to char up so you get that texture on the outside, because now the pasta is pliable, it's al dente. Now you want that charring. So yes, it sticks to the bottom of your pot, and that's how it's supposed to be. I'm sure this was invented by a guy in a restaurant who forgot this on the stove. But now you see here, when we turn it around, you start getting these brown bits here. And that's what we want to see now. And now you can mix it. You know, now you don't have to keep the direction, because now the pasta is done. Now you want to build some charring, not too much, but enough that you get some texture when you eat it. So a couple more minutes, and then we're ready to plate this up with some nice charring. Well, moment of truth. It definitely looks interesting. It's a beautiful plate. And I like the charring. It looks good. It's interesting. So
It's burned.
but that's the whole idea. You need char on the pasta in this recipe. That's part of the whole trick. So let's give this. Supposedly it's all about the texture. So I'm pretty curious to try this out. This is wrong in so many ways, and yet so right. I mean, you break all the pasta rules you can imagine, and you get that textural difference between the al dente inside, the charring on the outside. It's spicy. It's really good. Is it my new favorite pasta? Probably not, but I'm definitely going to make it again, so it's somewhere on the list for sure. Give it a shot. It's worth it.